Good day, my name is Angelo. This is Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. How have we been? As are we over here? We've been doing perfectly. Alright, yes, there has been a sort of bitter politics taking place in Anambra State. To be precise, Governor Chukwuma Charles Soludo has been called out for lots of reasons recently, alright? Now, over time, he has been castigated by the people of Anambra State for not meeting up to expectations since he ascended office. Alright, this is 2 years and he has failed to really meet up to any of his manifesto promises. And this proves to be a sort of lackadaisical attitude from him, according to the people of Anambra State. This also proves to be a wide range of lapses that has been brought on by his administration. Over subsequent governments that have taken over the helm of affairs in Anambra State before the emergence of Professor Chukwuma Soludo, there have been recorded a very, very clear style of political adherence to lots of rules and regulations, especially with those in government. But this time around, Professor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State has been caught up in a web of apparent defeat in 2025. As time goes on, he feels that he may not still hold that seat come 2025. This is not just because he feels that the people of Anambra State no longer have faith in him, but he feels that his political opponents are coming closer than they have ever been, especially with the recent defection of Dr. Ifeanyi Ubah to the All Progressive Congress. Of course, it's no longer news that Ifeanyi Ubah proves to be the closest rival to Professor Charles Soludo of Anambra State for the seat of the governorship come 2025. But in this particular expose, I will be telling you the sort of politics that Charles Soludo has been playing in Anambra State, and over time it has been termed to be a sort of bitter sort of politics. Of course, his defeat in 2025 proves to be imminent, and this proves to be a sort of colossal and aggressive display of power, having tested from the cocktail of power intoxication and politics of bitterness. The race to the Anambra State Government House come 2025 has taken a new dimension since the defection of Senator Ifeanyi Ubah to the All Progressive Congress. The governor of the state, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, who apparently has failed to meet up to expectations of the people of Anambra State due to his lack of governance, has resorted to threats to all traditional rulers and town union president generals for holding a perceived view that is contrary to the governor's interest and second-term ambition come 2025. The recent was the suspension of the traditional ruler of Neni in Anambra State for receiving and conferring a chieftaincy title on Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. The governor of the state, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, has many unforgivable sins since ascending the throne of the government house, which includes his recent attack on Peter Gregory Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party during the presidential election campaign season. His later attacking Peter Obi and the Obedient Movement, and also his failure to conduct local government elections, which he promised to do within 6 months of his ascension into office. This is close to 2 years he has been in the government house and nothing has happened so far. Recall that Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, who recently defected to the All Progressives Congress (APC), is believed to be eyeing the governorship of Anambra State in 2025. As a result of the conferment of chieftaincy title on Ifeanyi Ubah, the governor apparently ordered the Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Town Union Matters, Mr. Tony Collins Mabunwane, to quickly suspend the paramount ruler of Nani community, Igwe Damian Onwameze Ezani, also known as Igwe Ogonabo, for conferring a chieftaincy title on his main political rival and a serving senator representing the people of Anambra South, Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. According to the sack letter that was made public by the Commissioner for Chieftaincy Affairs, signed and stamped by the governor, A letter addressed to the embattled monarch by the Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Town Union Matters, Mr. Tony Collins Mwabunwanne, accused the Igwe Ezani for breaching the Code of Conduct for Traditional Rulers in Anambra State, which stipulates that no traditional ruler can confer chieftaincy titles on anyone from outside his domain without obtaining the permission of the traditional ruler of the recipient's community. Obviously, Ifeanyi Uba hails from Nnewi, and it was gathered that Igwe Ezani did not obtain permission from Igwe Kenneth Orizu of Nnewi before conferring the title on his subject. The commissioner regretted that while a vast majority of traditional rulers conduct their exalted office with dignity and integrity and stick to the code of conduct and directives of the ministry, a tiny few still act recklessly and in total disregard for the code of conduct of their office and directives of the supervising ministry. But when clearly analyzed, this proves to be a cocktail of power intoxication and politics of bitterness, because the people of Anambra remain astounded over the news that the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, suspended the traditional ruler of Nini community, Igwe Damian Onwumeze Ezani, also known as Igwe Ugonabo, for conferring a common chieftaincy title on his main political rival and a sovereign senator representing the people of Anambra South, Senator Ifeanyi Uba. According to the sack letter signed by the Commissioner of Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Community Matters, Mr. Tony Collins Mwabunwanne, the reason for the sack was clearly noted. But it was crystal clear that the sack was quite motivated by politics of bitterness. But a quick review to give a benefit of the doubt by perusing the Chieftaincy Act once again, as amended in 2020. The Act specifically provides that any person that will receive chieftaincy titles from traditional rulers must first have his biodata submitted to the Office of the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters for scrutiny before the festival proper, aside other provisions of the Act. The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters will certify the candidates, and in case of those from outside the community, his or her names will be sent to the traditional ruler of his home community for approval before the title will be conferred on recipients, as earlier stated. According to the Commissioner of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs and Community Matters, the essence of the screening is to ensure that they do not give titles to people who have questionable characters and those who do not have any clear and verifiable means of livelihood. Even to the blind, deaf and dumb, Senator Ifeanyi Uba clearly does not fall within this category. It is worthy to note that just a few months ago, Governor Charles Soludo hosted Senator Ifeanyi Uba at the Anambra State Government House and described him as a gift to the Anambra State people. At the event, the senator, in company of the traditional ruler of his community, Nnewi, His Royal Highness Igwe Orizu, and other highly revered monarchs, donated security equipment to the Anambra State government. The same Governor Soludo, who has suddenly developed amnesia and has suddenly forgotten who Senator Ifeanyi Uba is and what he represents, later went to Nnewi to witness the launch of Operation Light Up and Secure Anambra State by the hard-working senator. If the essence of this enforcement is to mitigate giving titles to questionable characters and people without verifiable means of livelihood, this clearly shows that we are therefore of the opinion that this point may be brought down according to what Professor Charles Soludo, the governor of Anambra State, has done. As a long-standing public figure, accomplished businessman and captain of industry, multiple-term lawmaker and recipient of the Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, from the Nigerian president, Senator Ifeanyi Uba is a public servant and his biodata is public knowledge, accessible and has been in public domain for a long time. Why then is the government punishing a monarch for honoring such a prominent son of Anambra State, a serving senator, a massive employer of labor, and a man whose human and capital investment in Anambra State is more than quadruple the entire net worth of the state governor and his commissioner for a local government combined? Why do we have a commissioner for local government in Anambra State when a constitutionally constituted local government system does not exist in the state? Isn't the phantom ministry of local government being run by Mr. Tony Collins Mwabunwanne an illegality, Since the fulcrum does not exist, as no local government elections has been conducted in Anambra State in almost 10 years, since there is no legally constituted local government system in the state, which law conferred legitimacy on the commissioner of an illegal, non-existent ministry and empowered him to preside over the affairs of Anambra traditional rulers and institutions. What justification does Governor Soludo, who has zero human or capital investment in Anambra State as a private individual, have to question the capacity and integrity of one of the highest private investors and human capital developers in Anambra State in the person of Ifeanyi Ubah? We all know why most corrupt public officials invest outside Nigeria. Could that be the reason why Congo proved to be more suitable for our dear governor's investments? What impetus does a law-breaking governor who has refused to conduct local government elections as mandated by the Nigerian Constitution have to pontificate on issues of legality and adherence to code of conduct? Doesn't it sound hypocritical for a professor of economics who refused to declare his assets before resuming office and has blatantly refused to implement any form of financial transparency model in his administration to pontificate on issues of ethics? In a state without ordinary pipe-borne water, unavailable for the masses, a state where people are kidnapped regularly and people are forced to sit at home every Monday, a state with the inglorious infamy of having the lowest paid civil service in Nigeria, isn't it a misplacement of priorities for Governor Soludo to invest his energies and focus his executive powers on engaging in petty political fight against political opponents? How does fighting Ifeanyi Ubah, threatening and suspending traditional rulers, turn Anambra State into the promised Dubai or Taiwan? When is Governor Soludo going to suspend Eze Ukpo and Igwe Aguleri for recently conferring chieftaincy titles on General Tukur Buratai and the Vice President Kashim Shettima, respectively? Can Mr. Tony Collins Mabunwanne, the Commissioner of Chieftaincy Affairs, furnish the public with both the application and biodata from both traditional rulers and the confirmatory letters from their respective traditional rulers in Borno State? This suspension is purely a petty political move, a glaring indication of power drunkenness, thoughtlessness, and bitterness. A pointer to the sadistic depth the governor is willing to descend in order to satiate his petty notion of politicking. Reducing our traditional rulers to collateral targets in his archaic political war is not only the manifestation of how bereft of ideas and draconian the Anambra State government has become under Charles Soludo, it is also indicative of unsound judgment, poor political intelligence, and outright senselessness. Even Governor Willie Obiano was smart enough to avoid playing this kind of suicidal politics in his first tenure. What Governor Soludo is doing right now with executive power is utterly un-Anambran. The people of Anambra don't play politics of bitterness or vindictiveness from history, and the people of Anambra don't reduce reverent traditional institutions into mere pawns in political chase games. The lame reason given in justification of the suspension is nothing but a bureaucratic maneuver deployed to justify the senselessness, political witch hunt, and apparent bad blood. Flexing muscles and forming jagaban with public funds is the easy part. If Governor Soludo wishes to fight a colossal legacy or play in the league of the Ifeanyi Ubahs of this world, he should start by showing the people of Anambra his scorecard in his personal capacity. He should demonstrate his love for the people of Anambra by repatriating his multi-billion naira investment in Congo and reinvesting it in Anambra State so he can create jobs for Anambrians, just like Ifeanyi Ubah did with his multi-billion naira investment in grassroots sports, development, and communications in Anambra State. As an economist, his commitment to make Anambra State a better place should start by the declaration of his pre-election assets, conducting local government elections as stipulated by the Constitution, and implementing the award-winning financial transparency model obtainable in Taiwan today. Fighting deity, manipulating executive bureaucracies against political opponents, and humiliating our traditional rulers is nothing but a consolidation of his status as a non-term governor. Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo should be reminded that the Igbo society is Republican. The reality is that the suspension has no legitimacy on the traditional throne of Neni. Igwe Damian Onwumeze Ezani was enthroned by his people, the people of Neni community. He has sat on that throne for over a decade before Governor Soludo became governor, and he will remain the traditional ruler of Neni community as long as he is being advocated for by the people of that same community, and long after Soludo would leave office. Desecrating the traditional institutions and humiliating traditional rulers and ridiculing the traditional stools they occupy will not save Soludo from the imminent defeat of 2025. Okay, when it comes to Nigerian politics, there are lots of dimensions that are given to Nigerian politics. The case of Ifeanyi Ubah is quite funny because if you ask me, I will tell you that Ifeanyi Ubah actually defected to the APC to go to a party where he feels he will be welcome, to go to a party where he feels he would actually gain more grounds and more supporters. Because I can tell you for free that Ifeanyi Ubah is eyeing the governorship seat in 2025. On the other hand, Charles Soludo, the governor of the state, is eyeing a second term come 2025. But it's so funny that in the space of 2 years of his ascension to the throne of the governor of Anambra State, he has failed to meet up to expectations. This is not the fault of the people, neither is it the fault of his subordinates. Maybe, just maybe, Charles Soludo has other things he wants to do, but not now. But even though he does, people want to see them happening right now, because that is the reason why they voted you collectively into power. That is the reason why they came out to exercise their franchise for your sake. That is the reason why they feel that they are entitled to the dividends from your government, right? But when they give you a space of time, just like what is happening to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu right now, people have given him time and he feels to be a politician that cannot deliver. He feels to be what we call an audio politician. That is what Charles Soludo has paused to be in Anambra State. But the recent suspension of the paramount ruler of Neni community in Anambra State, due to the fact that he conferred a mere chieftaincy title on Ifeanyi Ubah, has proven to be a politics of bitterness and witch hunt. This is the more reason why the people of Anambra State feel that the governor has failed in his duties, and they are planning in a way, not apparently and not publicly, to see to it that they go for another candidate come 2025. Please like our videos. If you love this work, share them. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. Don't forget, the politics in Anambra State has taken a turn. Right from the days of Peter Obi, Chris Njike, and Willie Obiano, there have been no evidence of any politics of witch hunt and any politics of bitterness so far. Because this, by Charles Soludo, though so aggressive, proves to be a point where the people of Anambra State feel he has failed in all ramifications. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. See you next time. Bye.